Welcome to another episode of the Peak Potential Success Show. My name is Fong. I'm an entrepreneur, a business strategist, a real estate investor, a speaker, and also a best-selling author. Every single day, I have the opportunity to help others unlock their potential and guide them to succeed. More often than not, I see people not reaching their potential, not taking action because they have a missing link. Whether it's a connection, a perspective, a story, a podcast, whatever it is that will help them get over that hump. That's why I have this show, so that every single week we unlock your potential, maintain that level of success, and then reach a higher peak potential and then achieve things you've never even dreamed of. Today, I have an amazing guest. I met him a few years ago at a conference, and we just hit it off right there. We built a relationship. We met each other many times after that. We had dinner together, just had a lot of fun just chit-chatting. He is an international speaker. He is an entrepreneur. He is also a best-selling author as well. So please welcome Mr. Derek Eurales.
Hey, Fong. Hey, I appreciate that introduction, man. That was fantastic. Dude, awesome. That was exactly how I wrote it.
Exactly. You got it.
No, I'm just kidding. Well, how you doing, man?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for being here.
Man. It's so good to be here, Fong. I mean, it's just a pleasure. And, you know, when I was getting ready to come to the show, I started digging through a few of my relics and memorabilia of just our time together. And I ran across a couple of pictures, man. I don't know. And then I might get to show those here, but man, I was just looking through some of them. It's just been just an awesome time, man. I don't know if I could show any of them, but I might be able to at some point.
Well, that's the gang.
Yeah, that's us together, man. That's you, me, Jessica. That's Reggie and Tony. And that's you and me and Reggie together somewhere, man. I mean, you know, we got history.
Yeah, it's
and
lots
then
of fun
you,
times.
Me, and Coach Dana there, Coach D, and then you, me, and Jessica. I figured I'd dig out a couple of photos there, but awesome. I mean, it's just an awesome time I've had just knowing you over the past couple of years, and just, man, I'm really excited to see everything you're doing, Fong, and to be on your show is a great honor, because I know that everyone who trusts you to be their coach and to help them are unlocking some of their peak performance and potential. And I know that it's really, really an awesome thing. So thank you for allowing me to be here.
Awesome. Thank you very much. So for people who don't really know who you are and what you do, would you mind giving us a quick close notes as to what you do and how you got to where you are today?
Well, I'm a retired U.S. Army veteran. I spent 25 and a half years in the U.S. Army. After I retired from the Army, I started a business helping veterans find employment, and the business is Select Vet. And I hired JT Fox to become my coach because I became curious. I went to an event where he was at. He invited me to go to South Africa. I went to South Africa and shared my experience, shared my perspective with a bunch of entrepreneurs there. And JT was impressed so much that he hired me to become his chief of staff. And I traveled with him for a little more than a year and a half around the world, helping businesses to either start or grow or expand. And it's been my honor to do that. And I'm still committed and involved in the processes of helping people to grow and expand, particularly passionate about helping veterans, who are entrepreneurs or in the business space. And any entrepreneur, any business person who needs my help, it's my honor to help them.
Awesome. Now, you talked about you being a veteran and you've served. Yeah. Thank you very much for that. Have you found that business is nothing compared to what you had to face and the challenges that you had to go through?
Well, they're different challenges, of course, and everyone's experiences help them and prepare them in different ways for the challenges that they face. Of course, the experiences that I've had serving with veterans of the military prepared me for particular challenges that I don't have any other baseline for that prior to the military. I was a young man living in southern Illinois as a young man, and I joined the U.S. Army right out of high school. So yeah, my experiences in the military have prepared me in many cases for the cold and harsh, hard world of business out here. But another thing that has helped to not only prepare me or to kind of sustain me or to teach me some of the things that I've been able to do, is the fact that I've had coaching, and I've been able to, to trust the process of coaching for my own personal and professional life. And so that within itself, you don't know what you don't know. And you're sitting looking at the puzzle or looking at whatever it is that's in front of you. But it's a coach that can take that 1,000-foot view of what you're doing and what you're going through and be able to tell you, oh, okay, yeah, you're dealing with this, so you need to make this move, or you're dealing with that, so you need to go there. And when I take that advice, when I do what my coaches have told me in the past and in present, it's worked out for me. So.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So we talked about some challenges that you faced. What is one of the greatest life lessons you've ever learned? And was there a story behind that lesson?
One of the greatest life lessons, man. There's so many life. I mean, so
for
many.
Example, I'll let you think about it more.
Here's one lesson that I learned, and I'll share this with you. And one of them being on the road with with JT Fox. It is actually one that kind of led to one of my nicknames. So I'll share this story with you. Do you guys JT calls me DG. Yeah. Anybody want to know how I got that nickname? Because I know people don't know. A lot of people don't know how I got the nickname. So anyway, here's a lesson I'll share with you, and it's called Know Your Audience. I wonder if I found that. I wonder if that's somewhere. I was reading in a book somewhere, and I highlighted it, and it says, know your audience. So and I know you probably didn't know that I was going to do that, but this is a great book. It's an excellent book right here. Yeah.
Must be a pretty awesome book.
Dude, man, this is such an awesome look, man. I'm highlighting in the book. So it's good. I got bookmarks and everything in it. I'm highlighting in it. I haven't dog-eared any of the pages. So I don't believe in dog-earing the pages. Just use a thingy. But anyway, getting back to your question, a very powerful lesson that I learned was know your audience. So here's how I got the nickname DG. We're in Germany somewhere, and I can't recall where. And at the time, I hadn't met or been on stage or encountered very many. It was very early in my times of traveling with JT. And I hadn't met a whole lot of celebrities. I hadn't done a lot of things, in the course of it. I maybe had met, one or two, and one particular celebrity that I had met and encountered and had some conversations with and everything was a gentleman by the name of Danny Glover. Now, Danny Glover is, an award-winning actor, American actor. He's starred in several films, most notably Lethal Weapon, the Lethal Weapon series. Yep. With Mel Gibson. He's, the brown guy. He's the black guy in the Lethal Weapon series and all of that. And so I was very excited to have, of course, gotten a photo with him and everything. And I was using it in my branding. So I'm in Germany somewhere, and I'm presenting, and I show a slide, and I say, yeah, and that's me and Danny Glover, and we're having a great conversation. And JT steps back in the room and says, hey, by show of hands, how many of you know who Danny Glover is? And like 3 people in the room raised their hand. And then he said, hey, I got a new nickname for you. And then he walked right back out of the room. So I became Danny Glover.
DG.
In short, DG.
Yep.
You're welcome.
Oh, that's good. Because I was saying like, oh yeah, I'm interviewing Derek today. And just as like, DG, I'm like, yeah, that's who it is.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and that's kind of the way it goes. And I became DG, forever. But it was kind of close to my name, though, honestly, because my name is DJ. That's what my friends have called me. I grew up. That was my name growing up. So DG wasn't too far off from it, but it just, the illustration of, or the one of the most powerful life lessons that I've learned and that I can share in business is know your audience. And it's not just about the funny part of it, you know, because it could have ended very badly. It could even be to the point of knowing where you are. You know, knowing where you are and remembering to not necessarily to pander, but to you know, just understand the audience that you're in, that you're around. Okay, and sometimes we, as speakers and coaches and entrepreneurs and investors and everything, we have the opportunity to speak in front of audiences. It's important, and it's something that I share in my book, that when you go to a place, it's important to research the place and to know where you're going. Yeah. Like, for instance, I know I'm piping into Canada. I know the colors of Canada. And so I'm wearing this tie in honor of Canada. You know, I mean, it's just all a matter of knowing, you know, where you're at and being aware of your audience. So that's one of the most important lessons that I can share, you know, as far as business is concerned. And even as far as life is concerned, you got to know the people that you're around. And when you know your audience and when you're able to connect with your audience, it creates an emotional connection. And I've actually learned recently, even and not learned, but it's been re-emphasized to me recently, that there's some drivers to emotions. You know, there's really 4 key drivers to emotions, Fong, and I know you know about these. There's gain, fear, pride, and imitation. You know, and I learned it in this great book. Great book, man. I've been talking, man, and I learned, man, that there's that. You know, many people are driven by gain or something that, you know, that they want or need. And, you know, and as far as fear is concerned, fear is one of the most powerful, you know, drivers or motivators. You know, people respond to, you know, fear of loss or fear of pain or even the fear of the unknown. And then as it relates to pride, at some point, you know, we all, you know, enjoy feeling good about ourselves. You know, these are emotional drivers. And then as it relates to the imitation, have you ever heard the statement, you know, keeping up with the Joneses? Yeah. You know, it's a big driver of emotion. Everybody wants to be like the Joneses, or everybody wants to be like the Fongs and the Ings, you know, and these are drivers. And I pay attention to those. I don't discount those at all, because they're very important. Yeah. I don't know if I answered your question or if I'm just rambling because I'm excited to be on your show.
You got it. You following my script of telling you to promote my book. That's what you were doing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Is that what it is? But no, man, I'm digging it, man. I'm digging it. I've been, you know, ever since I found out that I was coming on your show, my folks told me, hey, man, you're going on to Fong and Jessica's show. I was like, well, you know what? I better understand and know what his latest work is all about. And this is a phenomenal book, man, if I might say so myself, man. So you know.
Thank you. Now, I know you travel throughout the world. You speak on many stages in front of thousands of people. You've dealt with lots of challenges when it comes to serving the country and whatnot. Now, when it comes to challenges, you face those challenges all the time. How do you get your mind in that right spot so you can go, you know what, I'll take this challenge on and I'm going to succeed?
You know, and that's an important question because everybody faces challenges. We all have our challenges in life. But how you face the morning is how you know, is really what can determine how you'll face the day. So if you get up in the morning and you're all downtrodden and beat up, and then that's the way the rest of your day is going to be. But if you get up in the morning and you say, hey, listen, man, I'm built for this. I can do it. I am all that God says I am. I can do whatever I put my mind and my heart to do. I am amazing at this. I love doing what I do. I always persevere. I always win, or I always learn. If you have that type of thing, and it's a mindset thing, Fong. It's mindset. The great Reggie Batts has a wonderful book called Mindset for Success. And when you maintain and develop the mindset to succeed in business and in life, when you maintain that, then regardless of what comes your way, the challenges, you'll be able to overcome it. But it takes a bit of motivation. It takes resilience. It takes some stress management. It takes, building and establishing of relationships. Here's the thing. When you run into challenges, there might be a relationship that can help you. Mm-hmm. Like, for instance, I know that on a regular basis, over the years, and why I have all of these photos from you and Jessica is because you guys mail them to me. You guys send them to me with chocolates. And I'll tell you, my wife ate she took my chocolates away from me the last time.
I'll send more.
Okay, sure yeah. No, I'm sorry. That wasn't my screen pausing. I was just telling. She took my chocolates. What are we talking about? No, relationships. But the point is when I come to a place where I'm at a point where I have a challenge, something that I can't get past, I'm not too big to just reach out and say, hey man, can you help me with this thing that I'm dealing with? I got a challenge and I need you. Now, when I need something from someone, who do you think I'm calling on? I'm calling on the person or the persons who I've had an established relationship with. Mm-hmm. I'm calling on the people who I've built rapport and established rapport with. I've established a friendship with, who I can call on and say, hey man, hey, I got this challenge and this thing. And I know in your world, whatever the world is, whatever it is, whether it's coaching or real estate or investing or capital funding, anything like that. If I have a problem, I know who to call because I've established relationships. And it goes, and I know that you and Jessica know this, and I know that you guys practice it. You're probably the most connected couple that I've met in my days. And well, you guys are very well connected, and people love you because you treat people well. You pay attention, you know what people like, and you get it. I mean, I know when I was traveling with JT, for those times, whenever we came in, you always had some of the stuff that he wanted. You always had a bag for him. And I was secretly hoping like that he would forget the bag so I could like take some of it. And I know you would hook me up too, but he had good stuff. And I was like, oh man, hook him up. Let me look in the bag and see what it is. And I'm like, no, boss, you good, man. Get on the plane.
You talked about building those relationships and also those chocolates that your wife took. Well, you see, those chocolates are actually for your wife. So that's easier for me to go, hey, can you do an interview? And she goes, oh, is it Fong? Okay, no problem.
No, and she did say that. She did say it. I told her I was coming on the show, and she was like, oh, okay, yeah, tell him I said hi, and thanks for the chocolates, and we ran out.
Gotta smooth the path, right?
I see. Yeah. That's awesome, man. Awesome. Yeah.
Now, one challenge right now with regards to building relationships is that one-on-one connection. Where you meet up in real life, you meet them face to face. How have you adjusted to that change?
Well, and in the time that we're facing right now, I don't want to make light of the situation that we're facing, because we're facing a situation in our world. We're facing a crisis in our world that we haven't seen before. Not in my lifetime, your lifetime, not in my parents' or grandparents' lifetime. Have we seen something like this? But we have video conferencing. We have the web, we have Zoom, and we have the other mediums of staying connected. And I believe with, bringing all of these things in, we could still be connected. No, I can't reach out and touch you, but we can still be connected. We can still do whatever it takes to be relevant to our audience. Whatever it takes to remain relevant, whatever it takes to do what you have to do to continue to be before and in front of your audience and the people who trust you to guide them through their life, through their business, and all of that, we can still be relevant to them. And that's important. So if I can be relevant by video conference, then that's what I'm going to be. Listen, man, I'm in the middle of the United States. I'm in Tennessee, USA. You're in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Yeah. And we're together here in the room having some laughs. I certainly feel good. These laughs are authentic, man. I mean, it's love, man. And I don't have to be in the same room you're in to feel the love, because it's all about, again, your mindset. To me, we're in the room together, and we're connected, and we could stay that way. Now, what I'll say, and a piece of advice that I will give to your viewers and to your audience is, things are different right now. And no, you can't go to someone's home, but you can use the alternative means of communication. Don't allow it to stop the flow of your business. Find a way. Find a way. Successful people find a way. You can either make a way or make an excuse, but you can't make both. They don't live together. Either a way or an excuse. You choose.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned about what you do when you're facing challenges. You've talked about what's the biggest lessons you've learned. So what is the best coaching advice that you've ever got?
Well, the best coaching advice that I've ever received, it really just came from my coach, JT Fox. And it's something that he always says is, take your weaknesses and turn them into your strengths. Mm-hmm. If you're weak at, if you're weak at following up, then make that your strength. If you're weak at, speaking in front of people, then turn that into your strength. Never allow something that is a weakness, to get you down or to make you ineffective, because it's that weak thing, that thing that you're weak in, that is going to hurt you eventually. So take your weaknesses and start getting better at them. Here's another thing that JT used to always says it. And whenever I think about advice and coaching advice, and whenever things happen to me, I go back to some of the things that he says is, you can talk about it or you can be about it. And one of the things that he says that his coach, one of the best pieces of advice that he had received is, stop talking about it and get it done.
Right.
And so I know that was two, but those are the two that are really, really meaningful to me. They kind of go hand in hand, is take your weaknesses and turn them into strengths. And then don't just talk about it, but be about it. That's kind of how I translate that.
Yeah. Now, right before that, you talked about how we are able to connect with people via Zoom and using the internet and whatnot. Now, that is one thing that really opened up my sphere of influence, because I never thought about doing an interview with you without being in the same room with you. So now we're doing this interview. I've opened up to actually interviewing people from Hong Kong, from Singapore, and actually I have a client now in Hong Kong because of that. So
it opened the world.
Exactly. Adjusting the way you conduct your business is absolutely vital for what you're doing.
It really is. And one of the things that we have learned out of all of this is, everybody that said that a job cannot be done remotely, well, now we know it can be done remotely.
But one thing we always have to remember is this time zone difference. Right?
Yeah.
So I know right now at your place it's like at 9:00 at night, or almost 10.
Yeah, 9:30, it's okay.
You have great energy. right? You
Yeah.
have great energy. You have a great positivity to you. So what drives you? What drives you still at this
Mhm.
time at night and also every single day as you keep on going?
Well, when I have to do things like this, I make sure that I shower to refresh myself. But you know what? I mean, and you might laugh and everything, but here's the thing. And a friend of mine recently just said something about this, and I think it bears repeating. A good friend of mine, Stan Pearson in Atlanta, had said that sometimes all you need is a quick shower to refresh yourself and get some new perspective. And I believe that. I believe that, when you are low in energy and you need to be up in energy, hey, maybe take a shower, refresh yourself, put some clothes on, put a nice suit on. Listen, if I look good, I feel good.
Mhm.
And when I feel good, I do good. And when I do good, it makes good.
Right.
And when it makes good, it makes a difference.
Ah,
So think
very,
about that for a minute.
yeah,
Look
that's
good, feel good, do good, make good, make a difference.
awesome. That's very inspiring. I love
Yeah,
that.
man.
That's very good. So
Yeah.
that's gonna make your next question a little bit more challenging though. Because my
Okay.
next
Well,
my next
hit me
question
with it.
is gonna be you
If
have
I can, if I can't answer it, I'm just going to call on Fong.
you have the world at your fingertips right now. You have the next 3-4 minutes to talk to the entire world about one important message by Derek. So what is
Wow.
that message?
Here's the thing, and what I'll say to you is right now, what you're doing, what you have, and I'm not just talking to you, Fong, but just to your audience. Um, there was a story um, in the Old Testament of the Bible, and I'm a man of faith, and I go to the scriptures a lot. But there was this story in the Old Testament where Moses was complaining to God about the things that he didn't have, about what he couldn't do. And there was a lot of different things that he couldn't do and a lot of things that he did not have. And in this story, God asked him a question: what is that in your hand? And in Moses's hand was a staff. And God told him to stretch it out. And when he stretched it out, provision was made for, in the story, the Israelites to accomplish things that they didn't believe could be accomplished. And what I'll say to you is that there are things that you're trying to do. There are things that you really, really want to do. You want to be successful? Okay, let me give you some advice. Here's my advice if you want to be successful. Do what you can do with what you have in your hands first. Uh, be a good practitioner first with what you have in your hands. Do the little things that make a difference with what you already have the power to do. Control what you can control. There's a lot of things that are strictly out of your control. You can't do anything about it. But what you can do is you can control your attitude. You can control your work ethic. You can control how many hours you put into it in the course of the day. Listen, I am at my home and I'm in a very nice suit and a very nice JT Fox tie at 9:35 p.m. I don't know when this is going to be broadcast.
Mhm.
And maybe I shouldn't say the time so that we can, make it. I don't know. Either way, regardless of that. But what I'm telling you is do what you can with what's in your hand. What is in your hand? What can you do? What can you control? It's not about the challenges and the things that you face, but it's about what's in your hand. What's in your hand that you can actually control? I'll tell you, the mind is a terrible thing to waste. We used to hear that statement growing up, but potential is also a terrible thing to waste. So
Exactly.
don't waste your potential. Why don't you let Fong unlock it? Don't waste it.
Perfect.
Have him to help you to unlock your potential, because the day that you unlock your potential is the day that you make a difference, not only in your world, but in the world of someone else. So if I can tell you how to make more and work less by connecting to the potential that you have inside of you, I'd say when I give you advice, take it. I just gave you some, and I hope you'll take it. Use what you got.
That's very good.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost as if I gave you all this stuff to say. But
And when I knew I was coming on your show, and I know that your and Jessica's standard is very high, and I hold you guys in great regard. I mean that sincerely. I would dare not come onto your show, man, without having my ducks in a row.
Well, thank you very much for that.
Yeah.
Before I let you go,
yeah.
I have a few quick questions for you.
Sure.
One-word answers, whatever comes to mind. All right?
Okay.
So, I know you play piano. You're on the stage. You're about to perform a great piano piece with a certain singer. Who would you like that to be?
My wife.
Awesome.
Cece.
Good answer. So this makes this next question a little bit easier then. What is the famous dish that you will prepare for your wife?
The famous dish I would prepare for my wife. Lasagna with garlic bread and salad and grape Kool-Aid.
one vehicle that represents you the best.
Communication.
Vehicle?
Yeah, communication's a vehicle.
Okay, you went from a different way. That's good. And then finally,
yeah. Well, I do own a 1991 Suburban 1500 long body that I'm doing some restoration on. So that vehicle, and I call it the Goose, the Gray Goose. But communication is a vehicle.
Yeah, no, that's good.
I thought you were going philosophical, so I gave you a philosophical one, and then I gave you a literal one.
Very good. Now, I think I know what the answer is to this next question, but if you had the opportunity to go and compete in the Amazing Race, who's your partner?
If I had the opportunity to go and compete in the Amazing Race, that man. I only know there's a bunch of people that I'd love to choose. I mean, from Fong to Jessica, but if I had to go and compete in the Amazing Race, who would I take with me? Well, I'd take my coach JT Fox, because I know he's resourceful, and anything that we needed to get, he can get it, because he's the most connected person that I know on the planet.
Great. And finally, what is success like? You played this once, you get to play this again.
Wow.
Pick a number between 1 to 5.
Pick a number between 1 to 5. Okay. I'm gonna pick 4.
So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. Success is like, oh wow. Success is like the violin. Now, here's the thing about the violin. The violin has strings, it has a bow, it has some other things, and it has many other things. And the violin is a beautiful instrument. And the sound that comes out of the instrument is so, so very good when it comes from a person who is skilled and has practiced. So if you don't practice business, the sound that comes out of your success violin would sound so very ugly. But when you practice business and you make your way successful, the sound that comes out of that violin is so beautiful. and so beautiful, in fact, that I don't even know if I could, even hum it, but
Oh,
we
I was
all know
waiting for that.
what a beauty. Yeah, you were waiting.
I'm like, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
You know what I mean? It's beautiful. But success is like a violin in that if you treat it right, the sound comes out beautifully. Your success comes out beautifully. But if you don't treat it well, if you don't practice, if you don't perfect the craft of it, nah, man, it's going to be ugly. It's going to be really, really bad. So practice business, practice your success, practice sales, practice marketing, practice negotiation, practice all of these things, and you'll make a beautiful sound with your business and with your success.
Great answer. Very, very well thought out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know there's lots of people who would like to get in touch with you because you
Yeah.
have a world wealth of wisdom and great advice.
Thanks,
So
man.
what's the best way to get in touch with you?
You can reach me on Facebook, on social media. That's probably the best way to get a hold of me. Get in touch with me on social media. Facebook at Derek Eurales Jr. DerekEuralesJr. You can reach out to me there on Facebook. I'm also on Twitter and Instagram, even LinkedIn. But feel free to reach out to me there.
Okay, great. Well, thank you very much for your time. It's been a
Yeah.
pleasure having you here.
Oh man, it's been my pleasure. It has really, really been a great time, and I'm so honored that you've actually had me on your show because I truly believe in what it is that you're doing. Because today is the day. Today is the day to unlock your potential. And every time I think of you and Jessica, I think of that because you have ingrained that message. No, you've ingrained that message into everyone, and I think it's an important message. Everyone needs to unlock their potential. We don't do enough as it relates to our potential. So it's an important message and one that I don't mind signing off with.
Awesome. Thank you very much for that. So for everybody else, remember, Derek thinks that success is like a violin because you have to practice, practice, practice. And again, thank you very much for watching this show, the Peak Potential Success Show. My name is Fong. Until next time, today is the day to unlock your peak potential. We'll see you next time.
All right.